Welcome to the Sisterhood Collective podcast, where we empower women to break barriers, overcome limiting beliefs, and achieve true success. I'm your host, Laurie, entrepreneur and founder of 5 successful businesses. Join me as I share proven strategies, interview inspirational leaders, and provide behind-the-scenes insights to help you level up in your business, career, and in life. Because together, we can get further faster. Okay, let's dive in. Paint your own canvas. Create your own narrative. Design your own life. Live your best life. These are sayings that you've heard numerous times before. And it's a topic that I really wanted to discuss today because we've created a course that is designed to help people design a life meant for them so that you can live the life that you want to be living, as opposed to perhaps where you're living right now or the circumstances that you're living in right now. And the way that we go about doing something like this is through a self-discovery phase, understanding really who we are, where we've come from, and how that has affected and impacted the way or influenced the way in which we think, behave, our attitudes in society today. And I have brought both Laurie and Teegan with me to this episode to discuss what this looks like. So take a listen. Something that is really close to my heart is living your best life and doing so authentically. And I guess even if you're following any of my social media, I've been talking a little bit about designing the life for you. And like one of the mantras I like to live by is paint your own canvas, right? Write your own story. You've got every opportunity to create the narrative that you want. And so as part of the Sisterhood Collective, we've created this course that is Redesign Your Life, because we are wanting to, or I guess we've recognized that so many women or people in general are existing in a life that wasn't necessarily designed by them. They've just somehow ended up there through their upbringing, through particular circumstances, necessity, all sorts of reasons. And then they kind of get to that point when they start to think, well, I need to make a change. And it comes back to being happy and I guess also living to your full potential. There is also nothing wrong with living in the life that you currently exist in if you're happy. But for those that want more, I really want to help people design their own life. And I think you really need to understand where you've come from and understand all your personal values. You also need to be in a extremely positive mindset, I suppose. A lot of us can lose that positive mindset and you can't stay in it all the time. You know, we've learned that from speaking to Sam Jackson a couple of episodes ago. She said, you're not always in that growth mindset, but we are trying to get there. Some days we have good days, some days we have bad days, but to understand where you've come from, understand your values and what has influenced you in the past. Because those influences and exposure, the exposure that you have had is what leads you to having particular opinions, specific attitudes towards people, places, things, behaviors, the way that you behave in situations. For example, when I go to a friend's house for dinner or something, I cannot go empty-handed. Like I always like to take something because that's what my mum and dad taught me when I was young. So that was a massive influence on me, was to give something before you're given dinner or something like that. But anyway, it's going back and understanding those influences. And the thing is, they're not all positive influences. There are negative influences that have impacted our life as well. But we forget them or we block them out, and sometimes for very good reason. But I think we have to go back and do some reflection and really understand, well, what were those positive and negative influences in my past that has led me to the way that I operate in life today? And that is understanding your personal values. So, and then the second part to that is, I guess if you're looking at your personal values, you already are in that growth mindset. If you're open to change or open to more or open to redesigning your life or changing the narrative that's been so far written for you and creating that new chapter, then you have got that growth mindset. You're open to something. And so this course that we have created is basically, it's a 6-part course. It is self-paced, but it takes you through that walk step by step so that you can identify all those sorts of things, get you in that positive mindset, do a bit of a self-assessment to say, well, what am I missing in my life? And then move forward to creating new goals, a new life plan, a few changes, whatever that looks like. Now, you ladies were part of this process of designing this course with me. Like, we've done this together because we have been, listening to our audience so far, but we've also learnt from our own experiences. And we've created a bunch of product here at the Sisterhood Collective, and we've realized that certain things that we have created have actually helped ourselves. And in fact, that's why we created it in the first place. And the very first thing that we've created that is quite popular is that 14-day mindset motivator. And I created that initially because I was sitting there one day going, oh, I'm feeling tired, not so motivated. And I know from previous experience, for example, if I wanted to go paleo for 30 days or I wanted to, to eat well, if I shared it with my audience, it held me accountable. So I was like, oh, why don't I do a 14-day mindset motivator, which includes an affirmation to put me in the right frame of mind each morning, and then a little practice that makes me do something for me that kind of gives me a bit of a kick up the ass, to be honest, and sets me on my way to do something positive with the day. And so that's why I started it. What other things so far from what we've designed do you find has been really valuable to you girls in reshaping the life that you have had in the past? You girls have been doing self-assessment with me, and you are reshaping your future. You're sitting there designing what you want that to look like.
For me, perfect day exercise is my absolute standout. It's something that I've done a lot in the past, and we've talked about it in goal setting podcasts and things like that, because it really helps give me clear direction of what is important to me in the life that I currently have, and what is maybe some things that I would like to have in my life that I don't have at the moment. So by looking at my perfect day, and it changes all the time, every 6 months, maybe my work is different, or my home life is slightly different, or my hobbies or activities are different. So it is constantly evolving. So to go back and reassess, I would have to say that the perfect day exercise is, for me, that's my hands down favorite.
What I like about that is when you think about perfect day, when I used to do this exercise, I threw myself over sitting on the Greek Isles going, yeah, living the perfect life. I'm on an island, living the island life. Well, that's actually not reality.
Yeah.
No matter how much I want it to be at that time, it wasn't my reality. So it's really perfect day in your current existence today, based in the house that you currently live in. So you're recognizing and understanding all the things that you have in front of you right now. And then if you could have a perfect day today, what would that look like? Includes if you've got to do school drop off. It includes if you've got to go to work each day, et cetera, et cetera. Then when you add to that, the key to the perfect day exercise is the visualization component, is actually closing your eyes, and once you've written down what you want your day to look like, is actually visualizing yourself doing and living that perfect day. So maybe, closing your eyes and visualizing what you're wearing that day, what time you're getting out of bed, the coffee that you're making, who you're having breakfast with, and et cetera, et cetera. And you kind of play that out, but you need to visualize it and see it. And I mean, that's why vision boards are so popular, right? If you want a certain house that overlooks green rolling hills, and you place that house and that visualization on your pin board. I mean, that's a bit old school. It's electronic now these days, right? But you have it on your vision board, but you see it each day, then you're always going to be subconsciously and consciously working towards that. And it's the same reason we do these positive affirmations. So as part of our Design Your Life course, we have a 2-minute exercise where, do you girls remember when I said to you, okay, hold on to your hats. And I set the timer and I said, I want you to write down for 2 minutes positive affirmations about yourself. I am grateful. I am confident. I am beautiful. And you sat there, and it really depended because we had a few people do this exercise, on the mood that you're on. Those that weren't in the growth mindset or having a bad day really struggled, just even in 2 minutes. It's like you can come up with 2 or 3 and then you're sitting there with your pen and going, I'm stumped, because you're not actually in that positive frame of mind to say nice things about yourself. But those that are feeling abundant and are in a good space and have just recognized all the wins they've probably had are going to sit there and go, yeah, I've just done all these things. So it was a lot easier. But 2 minutes actually took a long time. But it's a good exercise, albeit hard. We talk about visualization. How many people on social media see these affirmations and like them? Right? It's so popular. I mean, certain social pages have grown so fast due to positive affirmations. There's books written purely on positive affirmations. We all buy into them because we like to, I don't know, why do we do that? Like to feel good about ourselves.
Yeah, it does. It makes you feel good about yourself. Yeah.
And that's the whole point of this course, right? Is you can't design a life if you're not feeling good about yourself right now. Like, so you need to get into, I think where I'm going with all of this, other than just babbling, is that you have to be in a positive frame of mind to take action. Hence why we have the 14-day mindset motivator. It gives you 2 weeks there to get yourself into a positive frame of mind. If you haven't got that positive mindset, you can't even envisage, you can't visualize what the future looks like. You can't set goals. You can't dream small, medium, or big. And that's why we start off with that, 14-day mindset motivator, which, as I've said, is free on our website if anyone wants to give that a go. Since you girls have come on board the Sisterhood Collective, we talk a lot about being your authentic self, right? But what is authentic self?
I'm just thinking that I still don't know really who I am at the moment as well. That's what I'm struggling with. So I'm putting all my efforts into redesigning my life at the moment, because it's just something that I've never thought about. I've just lived. And now that I've been exposed to all of this, I'm just like, got not a lot of work to do, but I'd like to figure a few things out and actually get to know myself and what I really like doing, what my passions are. I mean, I know what's important to me, but I feel like I'm not living up to my full potential, and that I'm still trying to figure things out, but I need help to do that. So this is helping me.
It's hard when you've been in a institution, say like a, military, or you've been living in the yachting industry like you have, Junior, or you even, for some of us, been in the gym world for so long, owning, fitness businesses and things like that. You can lose yourself in those places, right? You're just so influenced and kind of lost in your own little world, I guess. So when you finish up in a relationship, or you've been in institutionalized in a sense, when you step out, it's a lonely place and you feel lost and you're like, I actually don't know who I am anymore. And I don't even know what I want.
And it's starting again. That's hard, because we are in a comfort zone of what we know and what people expect of us and what people know us for. And then when we're not that person anymore, and it's almost like when your kids grow up, mums go through that transition of like, who even am I? Like, my kids don't need me anymore. I'm redundant. And that's how you feel when you leave like an industry that might be the only thing you've known for a long time. People look at you like, she doesn't do that, she does that. But it's like, hang on a minute, like, we're able to make those changes and to have new goals and to figure out who we are, because we change all the time. We're not the same person we were when we were in high school or middle school, or we're always evolving.
So here's a question. You're starting fresh. Where's your safety net? Like, who do you rely on for your safety net? Like, when you step out of something and you're starting fresh and you're back into the unknown world, maybe you haven't had a job for the last 15 years or 10 years because you've been bringing up children. Maybe you've been living overseas. Maybe you've been in a really bad relationship where you've lost yourself. That certainly happened to me. And then someone comes and saves you, like a friend did for me once. And I had completely lost myself and I had to start all over again. I had to find myself again. And the only thing I knew that I could do to find my way back was to go to familiar from a love perspective. So that was family and friends and what I used to consider home.
I don't know if there is such things sometimes as a safety net. For me, every time things have gone pretty badly or I've needed to make big changes, it's me. It starts with me. I would run away to a retreat or I would run away somewhere, and I'd spend a lot of time sitting in my own thoughts, whether I wanted to or not. Usually I didn't want to. But I think there are parts of you that you need to face and that you need to have a good think about where you're going next, and you need to get that confidence and that feeling back in yourself that you are worthy and you are capable of all of those things, and just getting that, reframing your brain, talking to yourself positively and starting to move forward.
And I love that. I think they're two completely different circumstances. And I guess people will obviously lean into what they know and what's comfortable. Like for me, I need to be back around my tribe. I talk about it all the time. I didn't realize how important my people are to me, but clearly everyone knows that now. But for me, I need to be back in those surroundings where people are making me feel good about myself. They may be giving me a compliment. They're dragging me out when I'm feeling down. Once I get into that space where I start to, I guess, become alive again, then I probably do go internal. I haven't really thought about it until you just said all that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so true. Like, and obviously we teach that, which is funny. When the student teaches the teacher or something like that. But you need to go internal at some point and work out. That's the whole thing, right? And work out, well, hang on, I have lost myself. What do I want? But I don't know if you can do that until you've got that positive mindset. Like for me, people bringing me up, for you going and stopping. The world needs to stop for you for a hot second to recalibrate.
Yeah. And how funny, like you're like, I run to familiarity, I run to home. I'm like, I run to unfamiliar territory. I run to where no one knows me. I run the opposite direction. Yeah.
Yeah, space. You're going to space and new, isn't it? Which is different, but good. I love that. How about you, Junior?
I mean, I've got family and friends, but all of my friends are all over the world. I don't have a tribe of people close by. I tend to just ignore things rather than go off and try and figure it out or hash it out. I mean, I've got you guys and that, but I'm just thinking you made me think there that I don't know what I do. I just internalize everything. I'm learning to talk to myself more. Maybe that is like work on things myself internally without other people, but I still need, people are my thing as well. They're not here, so I can't do that.
That's why we do our Friday night Zoom nights. It's called Sanity with your friends. That's the main thing. I think we've talked about quite a few things here. If you are wanting to redesign your life, which, like I said, I've done quite a few times, and I feel like I'm constantly designing my life, right? So this isn't just you do it once. This is a cycle of starting the next chapter. And what I love about this world is that every single day is a new chapter. You can start fresh any day, anytime. You don't have to wait. You don't need to plan it. You can do it whenever you want to. And it doesn't need to be big. It can be small. And I think the fear of change sometimes can be the fact that it's too big. Like we have these grandiose plans and it's like, well, I don't even know how to get up the top of that mountain. Cool. Don't just drive to the parking lot at the base of the mountain first. Let's just do that. And then we can make the next plan from there. So for the redesign your life, then it's coming back to you needing to get yourself into this positive frame of mind, then understanding, well, what has influenced you? What got you to this bad place? Or you might not even be in a bad place, by the way. You might actually be okay in a great place, but you still want more. But what's got you to where you are today? Because that is impacting your decision making. So again, it goes back to understanding your values, then visualizing, well, how do I make today better? Just today. And then we can start implementing those small little changes just to make today better tomorrow. Oh, I like that. Make today better tomorrow. And then again, start talking to yourself. Sounds weird, but doing those positive manifestations of I am confident, I am abundant, or whatever it is that you want to say. But having a go at writing some of those down. And then I think you do this very well, Junior, because you do it almost every day driving, and you've taught your children to do this as well to each other. If they've done something to each other that was negative, you then make them stop and then put them into a positive space again with each other and recognize the good in each other. And then once you've kind of done all that and you're starting to feel good, you're starting to go, okay, I'm improving each day as it comes, is then do a self-assessment. We have the Wheel of Life, the Sisterhood Collective Wheel of Life. I mean, you can Google the Wheel of Life and there's a bunch out there. We've got the one that we've created with our pillars on it. And then understanding areas of your life, whether it's wealth, whether it's fun and family, friends, relationships, whether it's career, whether it's health and wealth and all those sorts of things. And then doing a self-assessment to see where you are on the spokes of life. Are you doing well in those areas? Are you where you want to be in those areas? And when you do a self-assessment looking at all of those areas, you suddenly go, well, hang on, I'm doing well on the wealth front, but I certainly am not having any fun. I'm not doing any entertainment, not catching up with friends. So the relationships in my life is a lot lower than where I want it to be. So you're like, cool, I'm okay with the wealth. I don't need to focus on that right now. I need to shift now and focus on building these relationships again, because if it's what's important to you and it makes you happy. And then once you actually understand the areas of your life, they don't exist where you want them to be right now, then that's when you can create your plan. That's when you can set your new goals and start moving towards them, which is the whole point of goal setting. And goal setting can seem quite overwhelming to a lot of people, I feel, but it doesn't need to, because as we just discussed, you can have big goals, you can have little goals, you can do monthly goals, 3 monthly goals, whatever, weekly goals. So that's kind of our redesign your life course. It's this, this course of self-discovery, understanding who you are, where you came from, what you want out of life, and then creating a plan to start moving and living that life that you want to be living.
It's such a broad audience that you can't nail it down to, I'm not happy with my job, or I'm not happy in my marriage, or it covers such a broad range, whether you're happy where you are right now, or whether you need to think about, actually, I could make some changes. So it's something that really does apply to everyone at all different stages in their life.
I think it's also good because you don't necessarily have to redesign anything. You could just do this course and go, damn, I've done it well. I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Look what I've done, and then be proud of yourself of where you've come from and where you are right now. Like you are doing it. And I think it's recognizing that too, because as you said, everyone's looking through different goggles.
And it's a good reflection piece, like you said, to look back and go, yeah, you know what? Things are going pretty well at the moment. I'm happy.
Or you know where you're going, and if you do it, then you know where you've got to tweak certain things. Make sure that you're staying on that path, because it's really easy to deviate and to let things go. And then if you realize, no, this is where I wanted to go, I'm going to concentrate on that.
Exactly. If you're feeling like you have lost yourself a little, then please take a look at our Design Your Life course. It is a self-paced course of self-discovery where throughout the course, I'm guiding you through identifying who you are, how to improve your life with small changes that you can make today, and how then you will design the parts of your life that are missing and create a path to make it happen. So you can find out more information on our course in the show notes and also on our website and socials. Thank you so much for listening to us today. If you're enjoying us, then please reach out and let us know. Thank you for joining us on the Sisterhood Collective podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. And if you want to be the first to hear what is new at Sisterhood Collective, you can find out more on our Instagram, or you can sign up to receive our weekly newsletter and let the good times continue to roll. Now it's time to turn your clear vision into bold action. I'm Laurie Drummond, your host, and until next time, keep striving to live that best life. Take care, and we'll see you soon.